the idea that those are the forces behind just about everything we do. They're pushing away from something or being drawn to something.
Well, it also seems related to the unknown.
And all stories move. And so what moves us through a story is what pulls us towards something we're attracted to, or what, in some way or another, what we're running from in the story. And so those are the sources of motion, I think. And I think you hit it on the head, that propel a story, and in some way or another propel us as
Movement.
stories through life in a metaphoric sort of sense too. And and this is why Aristotle talked about the notion in the Greek sense of God as being the prime mover. Okay, what is the source of all this movement? This movement of you, the movement of stories,
infinite regression
and all
cause.
that. And so he came up with this notion, well, there must be a prime mover, a source for all the movement, whether it's away from something or towards something. And I think all stories do. Good narratives have an arc. They're moving somewhere.
Good narratives deal with the unknown.
Yeah, and explore it maybe in a way
I've
titillates
been
our
seeing that
curiosity.
in order for someone to be interested in a story, it inevitably has to deal with the unknown and the possibility of something out there.
We've been drawn to the out there, and it's hard.
And it's both curiosity and fear.
I think it is, and it's not hard to imagine people 200,000 years ago wondering about looking into the night sky from a fire, sitting around the fire, trying to see the stars in the clear sky, and trying to connect the dots with the story in some way or another to make sense of what is that up there, and how come it's different than what's down here. And that notion of searching to the edges of your own world, in that sort of 1492 Columbus sort of experience of going into the unknown in some way or another, is a big part of what it means to be human. It's kind of a little bit like the notion in Sophie's world where remember the tennis ball coming across the floor and the cat chases it, remember that?
Yeah.
And then but the human looks back and looks at the cause. We're interested in the ends of the story. We want to know the beginning, and we want to know the ends. We want to know the cause, and we want to know the effect of things. And so not only do we look back, but then we look forward to see where it's going. And I think we do that with our lives. And I think, in a sense, our brains are within a temporal context. And what I mean by that is that things always happen in sequence in time. And a story is nothing more than making sense of events in time, and that motion of things flowing through time. And then,
Specialness.
yeah, and then putting meaning to it, and trying to explain, well, what does this have to do with me? Anything is really interesting thing. And what does this have to do with my buddy, who we were hunting mastodons together, and he got gored, and he's dead, and I'm alive, and where did he go? His body doesn't move anymore. I can move, he doesn't. What is that about?
It's sort of like how we attribute the things that humans do to objects. Objects have intentions because humans have intentions.
Intentionality is interesting, and that gets at the notion of free will, because I think that's directly related to...
Why does it rain? So that the flowers can grow.
We're back to Aristotle's four causes in some way or another, and trying to come up with explanations to explain cause and effect relationship. And there might be many levels to look at. It's very interesting. Well, I've got to get going, but it's been fun.
Yeah.
Off I go. Get too old.
Yeah, going outside, fun.
Yeah, I know. I just have little walks to do here. Well, I'm glad you came.
Yeah.
As far as the talk went, I'd give it, I don't know, C plus or B minus. I was expecting much more, but that's because I'm reading kind of in this area.
Well, I'm sort of being intrigued by the connection between religiosity and comedy, because they seem to have similar aspects to them with an almost opposite result, with comedy being laughter and religion being fear and awe. Comedy could almost be compared to curiosity.
Typically in our culture, there's a big difference, I think. Most of the time when I think of religion, I think of solemnness and sacredness and quiet and hushed tones and no hushing. You've got to sit quiet in the pew now because this is a very special. And when I think of comedy, I think of something that's kind of not like that.
Exuberant and noisy and laughing.
Yeah, it wants more participation.
Yeah.
It has applause. And
sort of like the opposite of religion.
A lot of, when I think about religion, I think of people on their knees, prayerfully going inward rather than trying to involve the others. But then again, there are.
What I'm thinking is that maybe it's a similar thought process, but expressed in opposite directions.
Like the heads and tails of the coin.
Yeah. See ya.